I'm Aaron.
And I'm Todd.
We are the Bald Brothers team here at Impact Properties.
That is who we are.
You know what? Perhaps you're watching this on YouTube or maybe Facebook. Mm-hmm. We want you to go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe.
Yeah, you know, we keep forgetting to tell people,
We
subscribe.
do.
Subscribe.
Right now. Just pause and subscribe.
It's not a command, but
an imperative.
I was going to say it's a suggestion.
Is it? No. Subscribe.
You must subscribe.
We need you to subscribe. All right. No, thanks for subscribing. We appreciate that. We try to bring you fun and light and yet informative videos on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So today we're going to talk about some frustrations that Todd and I experience when reviewing offers and entertaining offers on behalf of our sellers. And so if you're a seller, we want you to listen. But if you're a buyer and you are trying to get an offer accepted, I want you to listen too. So Todd, what did we just do this week?
This week we reviewed offers for 3 separate homes. I think we had, at this point, we've got over 50 offers between the 3 homes.
That's right.
So we had to review offers, multiple offers on multiple homes, each with different requirements, different needs. And then once we reviewed the offers, we needed to present each one to the seller.
But let's just the idea, okay, of receiving over 50 offers in 1 week.
Yeah. It is a challenge because an offer is not just a single sheet of paper. You have to go through and evaluate not just the purchase price. Most people think it's just a purchase price. It's way more than that. There are many terms that go into it.
Way more.
There's a lot of legal language that goes into an offer. And then, of course, you have to evaluate the buyer's lender. You have to evaluate the buyer's finances. There's a lot of fine detail that goes into evaluating each offer. And then, of course, you have to be able to translate that and communicate it in a way that is understandable to the seller. Because let's face it, most people don't read contracts and real estate contracts all day long. And so we need to be able to communicate that in such a way that it's easier for the seller, you, to understand.
But I'm going to go back even further.
All right.
Okay. If just to get 50 offers requires a minimum of 50 phone calls. Mm-hmm. Often more, right? Because every time we have an offer that comes through, if an agent's doing their job right, they are reaching out to us.
That's right.
So between the two of us and our assistant, we are literally fielding calls non-stop when we have an active listing.
That's true.
Because every single one of those offers is at least one conversation or text message or email, if not more.
And some of them are many times more.
And herein lies where I was going with this, Todd. Is that in addition to the quality of the offer, which is first and foremost the most important thing, the second thing is the agent that you choose to work with.
That's absolutely true.
Because we are on the receiving ends of sometimes some very, and I'll just be honest with you, annoying calls. And it's just...
I was honest.
It's just honest, right? And we want to be real with you because we know that you don't get to see this side of what we do. And when we are working through offers, and let's say we've got, like this week, 51 offers, that's 17, 18 pages per offer, plus supporting documentation that we've got to go through, and we've got to extract the data that is important for our sellers, put it into a spreadsheet, and then we have to note special instances about the offer and about everything, because not one of them is the same. And then we have agents that follow up with us, and there are some agents that are so good at having a balance of like, hey, I'm here, I want you to know we're here, do you need anything from us? And then there's the agent that is just like knocking on the door nonstop, calling 3 or 4 times, calling Todd, then calling me, then calling the assistant until they can get a hold of somebody. And that plays into the offer package.
Yeah. And sometimes an agent can really help win the deal for their client and how they communicate with us even before the offer is submitted. But many times the agent can get in the way of the offer before the offer is even submitted. And by the time it comes in, we think, oh, we remember this agent, not the buyer, but this agent might possibly present some problems and not realize it, that he or she is presenting problems for their buyer.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the things that we need to consider.
And we've actually covered a portion of this in our other videos before, but you got to be careful and advise your agent what you can and cannot say, what you can and can't, what you want and not want to be told to the listing agents. We've had agents call us and say, well, you know, my clients really love the house, but what do you think about this? And starts going into all these negatives like that the agent found. And so all of a sudden we're like, do we really want to recommend this offer if this agent is already attacking the quality of the home or the issues, and he's already pointing out all the negatives, right? Because we're trying to assist our sellers with one thing, and that is to get to the finish line in a pleasant way with the most profit for them. As a seller's agent, that's what we want. And how are we going to do that? We have to make subjective and objective observations as we make recommendations to the sellers.
Yeah, and let me clarify something that Aaron's saying, is that we're not saying that we don't want buyers to be aware of any potential issues with the home. Of course, that's not the goal. But when you have an agent that's the main focus, they can bring that negative energy into the transaction.
Yeah, and if they do it in the first phone call,
yeah,
it's just like, uh-oh, what do we got here? Because we know that's going to translate to, you know, the offer. It's going to translate to the transaction. And of course there's going to be problems, Todd. Of course, right? Of course. Every home is imperfect.
Every transaction has challenges.
In fact, I ask my home inspector all the time when we're in a home inspection. I'm like, hey, so on a scale of 1 to 10, like, do you ever see a 10? And he says, Aaron, not even the new builds are 10s.
Yeah.
In fact, we had a client that was looking at a new build, and they're like, we had to make so many corrections to the builder because we went and visited the house being built every time. And they're like, we found this mistake, that mistake. And they're like, ah! Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. A couple of things are important when you're looking at writing an offer for a home. Make it a great offer. In today's market, it is fantastic for sellers, and buyers are competing. Like we said, 3 houses this week, Todd, and over 50 offers came in. Multiple, I mean, just a feeding frenzy and fighting over these things, right? So you have to make the best offer. 2, you want to make sure that your agent does a fantastic job of measuring where the listing agents are without going over the top. And then 3rd, you want to basically be okay with the outcome. It is super hard these days, and we recognize that out of 50 some offers, only 3 buyers got selected. And so that can be discouraging. And in fact, it's hard for sellers to know that they're turning away so many people, but they only have one house to sell.
It's only one house.
And so our goal as listing agents working with sellers is to make sure that that one house that our seller has to sell is a good experience for them. And that requires us to make sure that the best buyer, the holistic package of the buyer, is put forth, and that they look at that one the most.
The bottom line is that both parties, both sellers and buyers, are really wanting the same solution. The buyers haven't made an offer unless they want to buy the home. And so we both sides have the same goal to get to the close of escrow. It's a matter of how are you going to get there, and how smooth or rocky is it going to be.
Yeah. And I was just thinking of an analogy, one more, and we'll close with this.
All right.
You know, it's not a tug of war, really, in real estate. We're trying not to create a tug of war where you have one side pulling so hard and then the other side pulling so hard. And, you know, if you pull hard enough on a rope, it will break and snap. What we're trying to recognize is everybody is on the same track, on the same path, moving in the same direction with different ideas of which route to take. It's not a full tug of war, opposite directions, but it's, hey, we're going here, and you know, the buyer might want to go off this direction a little bit, and the seller might want to go this way, but we're still in the same track. We're still moving towards the same destination. And when everybody recognizes that we're moving in that direction together, we can get there in a pleasant transaction to the end with everybody happy.
That's right.
That's our favorite word.
That's a great analogy.
Wow, it just popped in my head. So if you're looking at selling a house or buying a home, we would like to help you here in Southern California. We are the Ball Brothers.
Give us a call. We're the Ball Brothers team.
Yes, we are. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.